Namaste viewers, welcome to our channel Lefort International School. Today I am gonna explain you History Lesson 1 for class 8. But before start the video, if you are new in our channel, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get all the notification. And do not forget to put likes, share and comments to our video. Now let's move forward to the lesson. The name of the lesson is How, When and Where. Viewers, we have started NCERT history journey from class 6. In the class 6, we studied from Paleolithic age to 700 AD. During this time, we learned that how the early man spent their life in the forest as a hunters and gatherers. And after that, how the early man changed into the modern humans and developed villages, towns, cities. Later, they have been also developed many rich civilizations like Indus Valley civilizations. After that, how did the man and woman became kings and queens, and how they developed their kingdoms. So this all we have covered in the class 6. After that, in the next class 7, we have learned about the medieval period, which was 700 AD to 1700 AD. During this period, we have learned that how the Islamic rulers came into the force of Indian ruling system. We have studied about Lodi, Khalji, Mughal dynasties. Now, how they expanded their ruling system in our country and made a strong administration. And at the end of the medieval period, we have seen how the British started to make their colony in the country India. So finally, we have learned ancient and medieval history of India in class 6 and 7. Now the time to learn about history when the British was ruling in our country. So in the class 8, we will cover the modern Indian history. As per the name of the lesson, you all know that in history, how, when and where are the three most important elements. So our first topic is in the lesson, which is how important are dates. So viewers, nowadays dates are one of the necessary things to make any kind of documents, right? So without date, we cannot make any important documents. For example, date of birth certificate, transfer certificate, marksheet certificate, etc. But it means not, you don't think that only we are the modern people who all are using dates by giving this much value. It's not like that. There was a time in the history when all the people were so crazy to remember about the dates, especially historians, because you know that if we are discussing about history and the date related information will never come or not come, then it means that discussion will never complete, right? So without dates, or right, means without dates history is incomplete. So the historians were giving more interest about the dates, that when that king did this battle, when he became the king, when he started the ruling, when this king married with that princess, when and which rulers were crowned, etc. Means all the information were related to the dates. But why the historians were fascinated with the dates? Because they want to debate. That's it. They want to debate with each other. So maybe you have heard that people are telling history is so boring. because history means only memorizing the dates. So over the time, people were started to thinking, means in that time people started to thinking that does the history means only to know about the dates? They were trying to find their answer by changing the concept. So that was exactly what happened. They are asking questions themselves that what is history? History is certainly about changes that occur over the time. It is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed. Now the historians started to write about rulers and their policies on the account of battles and big events. It means all the earlier history was written with the perspective of the rulers, battles and their policies. But the date was important as like before, but especially in a specific dates. Historians also changed their concept, which was only mentioned about the rulers. Now they have also started write about the other issues and other questions, like how people earned, how their livelihood, what they produced, what they ate, etc. Even also they have started writing that how the cities were developed. So in this topic we have learned that dates are important, but there are many issues in the history which are also more vital in past. So our next topic, which is dates, means which dates. Over the time, if we'll focus the history of our country, which was written by the British historians, there's only written about the Governor General, their policies, their achievements, as there was nothing outside of Governor General lives that was important us to know. There is no place where mention about the activities of the different groups and classes of Indian society. Means you all know that in our country we have many types of culture, peoples, different languages, different societies, but there is not a single place where it is mentioned about the Indian societies. So next, slowly this concept also was developed. In the 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, published a massive 3-volume work. Let me explain you about the Scottish. After that we'll focus in the main topic. Scottish means the people who all belongs from the Scotland. Scotland is a country which is located in Europe continent. It's just north side to the United Kingdom or Britain. So people who belongs from the Scotland, they are called Scottish. So Mr. James Mill belongs from the Scotland. That's why it's mentioned that James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, published a massive 3-volume work. So in a history of British India, he did more hard work to write about Indian history. He divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. This periodization was widely accepted during that time. Mill thought that Asian societies were lower level than the European societies. So our country is also located in Asia continent. It means that our society is also lower level than European society. But why he was thinking like that? Here is a question. So according to his history, that before ruling the British in India, Hindu and Muslims rulers was ruling in the country. During that time, he noticed some points. Those are, in India, like religious intolerance was there, means fighting between the Hindus and Muslims. Caste taboos was there very deeply. It means in ancient time our society was divided into 4 varnas or caste. They are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Shudra. Among these 4 varnas, Brahman was the higher or the superior caste. Kshatriya and Vaishya were also the caste which was getting respect in the society, but Shudra was the lower most caste which was always serving to the 3 higher caste, but not getting the value and respect in the society. They are always dominating by the higher caste, especially Brahmanas were behaving with them very crucially. By seeing these things, Mill thought that in Europe we are behaving this type of behavior with the African people, but here in India they are behaving like this, or the crucial behavior they are doing with their own people. So the next, James Mill noticed superstition practices dominated social life. In our country, especially in ancient India, there were many superstition practices followed by the people. For example, sati pratha, child marriage, etc. So finally James Mill felt that India could civilized, but for that it was necessary to introduce European manners, arts, institutions and laws in India. Even he suggested that the British should conquer all the territories of India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of India or Indian peoples. Otherwise, India was not capable for the progress. So finally, in the concept of James Mill, we have studied that only British ruling system could progress and civilized India. Can we accept this theory today? I know most of you will say no. Even not only you, later many historians was not accepted this concept of division of Indian history, because we should also remember that the rulers in India did not all share the same faith. Now let's move to know about the classification of British for Indian history. Means after James Mill, British also divided our history, Indian history. So how they divided, let's move to know. British historians divided Indian history into 3 periods, which are ancient, medieval and modern period. About the timing of this history, means this period, medieval, modern and the ancients, I have already discussed in the beginning of this video, right? So let's move to the understand the main topic, which is many historians found mistakes in this classification also. So why? So first see the point. First, this classification made completely based on the Western history. Our country is too far from Europe, right? So there is zero possibilities to change of the things in the past which was done in the same time in Europe. For example, in Western country, especially in Europe, modern period means everything is developed, like science, reasons, democracy, liberty, and equality. These all are the elements, these all are the elements for the modern period in the Western. But if we will focus on Indian modern period, science was not developed as like West. Next, democracy. If we will see in the modern time of our country, that time our country was not democratic country, you know that. During that time, British was ruling in our country. And about liberty and equality, there is nothing to explain about this both topic, because we all know the condition of India and Indian people, how the Britishers was behaved with us during the modern period. At last, about the economic growth. The level of growth or the level of economic growth was very less. Yes, many opportunities was there to growth, but why it was not successful? Because maximum earning amount was taken by the British. They have not tried to growth Indian economy. So that many historians use this period as colonial. Now let's move to understand the colonial. What is colonial? Colonial word derived from the word colony. Colony means a small area of a particular place. You will learn in this class that how the British came to India for business purpose and started ruling in our subcontinent, or in our country. So when they were ruling in our country, that time maybe their country was far, means British or Britain was very far from our country, but British were thinking that India is their own country. It means it is a part of their country or colony or their own country. So I hope you all understand about the exact meaning of the colonial. Now the topic is, how do we know? What sources do historians use in writing about the last 250 years of Indian history? So viewers, when the British was ruling in our country, about them we have many negative points, but it was not like that. They have not done only the negative things. They have done many good works for our country. There are several things they have done positively to develop our country. So I will tell you what are the work. The first, number one, during the period the system of administration was well planned. Means their administration system was very well planned and systematic. Everything's like instructions, plan, policy, decision, agreement, investigation had to be clearly written up. Means they have clearly written on a paper, and which are still helping us to get the knowledge or get the information, and in our country is still following that system. And number two, that British felt, means Britishers, they were felt that all important documents need to preserve. Means whatever they have written, it need to kept safely, right? So they document whatever the documents need to preserve or saved for the future records, so that they establish museum and archives for preserving the records. Now let's move to the next topic, which is surveys become important. Surveys means you all know that it's very important. If you want to know about anything, so you have to perform in the field. If you will go in the field, you will get more information, right? So survey is a kind of work which needs to go in the field and collect the information. So this is also a advantage work for our country done by the British. The British believed that a country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. So the British started different type of surveys in the entire country, means in our country, in India. They held census operation or population counting. And census operation means the population counting in every 10 years, means after 10 years they were counting the population, which was provided them detailed information about the population of India along with their caste, religions and occupations. Other surveys like botanical, zoological, archaeological and anthropological surveys. Even they have done forest survey also. So this all survey documents is still helping us to know about the conditions of that time in our country. So it's very important, right? So now moves to the next topic, and this is the last topic of this chapter, which is what official records do not tell. Means what are the records? This official, you know that this official records are informing us about the official documents, but there are so many things which are not telling by, or which we will not get from this official records. So viewers, in every information, like every information mentioned in the official record is not able to tell us the entire history, right? Because we can get information only related to the official records, what British were interested in and what they wish to preserve for future. It means it was completely based on their choice. Now then how? Means how can we know about the other people who were lived in India but not part of the official records? Means the people who were living in our country during that time, but nothing is mentioned in the official record. For that, what we have to do, we need to look elsewhere. Means we have to search some other sources, right? Like we have many things. Example like diaries of the people, accounts of the pilgrims or travelers, autobiographies, popular booklets sold in the local bazaars, painting spread, newspapers which was published and issues were debated in the public, ideas of the leaders, poet and novelists who all are expressed their feelings through the literature. But these all documents are also not enough, because this gives us information only literate or educated persons. Means this all information will get about only literate or educated persons. But during that time, what about the people who work in mine or streets? Tribals of India, you know that in our country there are many tribe people are living. So it's very difficult to know about their lives and history. But it means not that this is impossible. Everything is possible, right? So we can find their information also. For that need some more hard work or more efforts. So how it's possible, you will learn in this class only, but slowly you will learn in the different chapters. So I hope you all enjoy and understand the lesson, whatever I try to explain in this lesson. So if you have any kind of question, please ask through the comments and through our WhatsApp group. We will definitely reply you and respond you. Thank you for watching. We'll meet again in the next video with new lesson. Till the time, take care and have a wonderful day.